It's time for us to check in with Dr. Jason Batson of Batson and Associates, supporting health naturally. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, and how are you doing?
I am well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm great. I'm great. Always a pleasure to be here. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of 103.1 FM. Always a pleasure to be in your company. We had a very interesting Thursday last. We had a very good program, and we plan to continue. We discussed the very painful, very, in some cases, controversial um, arthritis. So many persons suffer from arthritic pain that it is. It's debilitating. And I think I was glad that I did that program because we got some excellent response. There are a lot of persons out there who want help and they just don't know where to find the help because this particular lady who came to us, she said, but I never hear about you, where you was all the time. You do now come, reach how long you're wrong, about a year, 2 years. And I said, no, it's 13 years now. This year will make it 14 years. Because she was like 14 years. So there are a lot of persons there who really need help. And that's what Batson and Associates. That's what Batson
Okay,
and
so I think your mic needs to be adjusted. Your mic just went mute. So you need to get that sorted out.
Yes, we better there? Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
I don't know how that happened. Yeah. So in a case like that, as I said, it's a matter of wanting help and knowing where to get the help. Good. So let me say a pleasant good morning. Keep in mind we are on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited. On Facebook, on Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Limited. Or TT rather, on YouTube. Batson and Associates Trinidad, my apologies. Yeah. So feel free to join us, feel free to listen. And today, of course, we're going to be continuing that arthritis. We'll be focusing a bit on osteoarthritis today. We spoke about rheumatoid arthritis the last time, and osteoarthritis, of course, has some level of inflammation in it. The difference with osteoarthritis is that osteoarthritis has the aspect of lack of density in the bones. So the bones or your bones are supposed to be very dense or compact. So what's the best analogy I could use? Okay, imagine a glass that is filled with sand as opposed to a glass that is filled with marbles. You will realize if you look at the sun, the glass with the sun, it is more compact and close together, so it's more dense, as opposed to the glass with the marbles. There are a lot of big spaces in between. People who have osteoporosis, their bones are like the glass with the marbles. There are too many large spaces you have because the bones have now become dense. Why have they become, or less dense rather? Why have they become less dense? Because of a number of things. Acid, because in order to neutralize an acid, you need a base or an alkaline. The most readily available alkaline in the human body is what? Calcium. Calcium is stored what? In your bones. Your bones are comprised of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus in its form of, or in the form of calcium phosphate. Your thyroid is the gland that is responsible for ensuring that the amount of calcium leaves your blood or your bones rather and get into your bloodstream. So the thyroid is the gland or the organ that controls that particular release of calcium from the bones. So for example, if you have an excessive thyroid problem, so if you have hyperthyroidism, you could end up with osteoporosis and then later on end up with osteoarthritis. That's something that you need to pay very close attention to. In addition to that, if you as a female, woman, when you give birth to children, it significantly compromises your musculoskeletal system and other systems in your body because children take from you. They take minerals, they take calcium, they take magnesium, they take, that's why women sometimes after pregnancy, they have about 2 teeth because all fall out. Because of that particular situation where you lose a lot of minerals and primarily bone and minerals are important for teeth. And as a result of that, you tend to lose those. So if you have osteoarthritis, what are you going to do? What should you do if you have arthritis? Now, people who know me, you'll always hear me say that I am not in the politics of medicine, right? So let me just quickly tell some people good morning quickly and just highlight our telephone numbers. Keep in mind, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks Building in Montrose, Shogunas. That telephone number for Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And of course, Debe is the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. The telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. Again, that's 223-7515. Let me say a pleasant good morning to our Facebook listeners. We have a pleasant good morning to Miss Nicola Hood. I know Miss Hood is in Antigua. She's from there. Miss Marge Hills, good morning to you. Kathleen Ishmael, blessings to you, Dr. Batson, and everyone. Uh, Thank you so very much, Miss Elizabeth Mary, Miss Annie Grant, Miss Cecilia Eden. And of course, we have a question here on our Instagram. Someone is asking, how do you know if you have osteoarthritis? Or how could you find out? There is actually a test that we do at Batson and Associates, which is known as a magnetic resonance analysis test. And in the aspect of that test, we test bone density. So we're going to look at your in terms of the different cells in your bones and the percentage that they are in your body. So when you do that test, it actually gives us the ability to understand if you have bone problems. The good thing about what we do at Batson and Associates is that with the blood analysis, I know just recently I had someone who came to us and is actually someone who works in a lab environment. And we were talking about different things. And one of the things that they highlighted, they say, because I always tell persons I love a microscope when it comes to diagnostic work, simply because when you are able and understand blood in its entirety and how it's supposed to behave, how it's supposed to look, and that type of thing. When you have a high-powered microscope and you're actually able to look at blood and examine an individual's blood under that microscope, it gives you a significant amount of information. The information is so valuable that what that information helps us to do is to help persons and pick up early warning signs. You have to understand that sickness, if you have arthritis now, or any type of disease, arthritis, hypertension, diabetes, you would not have started out at the point that you are at right now. It would have progressively gotten worse. And that of course makes you question yourself. Why is it I am following instruction, yet I am getting worse? Miss Petronella Joy Felix, she says that scan is amazing, really gave me an insight into my health. And yes, it does. Because one of the things the scan also does is that it gives us the ability to determine what is known as the entire aspect of your minerals. So we know if you lack magnesium, if you have problems with calcium, if you have problems with iron, if you have problems with zinc. A lot of men who have prostate problems, a lot of them, the reason why they have those issues is because they have zinc deficiency. So, feel free to give us a call or visit, get that blood analysis done, get your scan done. That telephone number, of course, for the Shoguna's office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And for Debe, Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. Let me go over to Karen, who, of course, could remind the listeners of the telephone numbers and the WhatsApp to ask any questions that they may have.
Right. So you can WhatsApp the studio at 299-4103. So we do have a question for you. My mother-in-law is 83 years old. She has diabetes. She has a lot of pain under the feet, and including the burning sensation. She has changed the doctors, but same pain.
Okay, well, sometimes, apart from changing the doctor, you need to change what you're doing. In the sense that neuropathy, which is what most diabetic individuals suffer from, is a very annoying situation. It feels like pins and needles cramping in your calves. I have known of persons, it is so bad that they have to wear gloves when they're doing things. Because, like, to fold clothes, to do your regular chores with your hand, like use a pot spoon to cook and that type of thing, the neuropathy becomes so bad that they actually have to wear gloves and they actually have to wear socks. Yeah, it becomes that bad. Now, there is good news for persons who suffer from neuropathy. The question is, are you willing to take the journey? So, of course, you're going to ask, what does he mean by that? The thing is, if you have neuropathy, keep in mind that when you have neuropathy, there is particular sheets that line I forget the name, I forget what they call these sheets, but these are things that actually protect the nerve endings in your body. People who end up with neuropathy, what happened? Those protective layers become very thin and they become worn out. So when they become like that, they're not able to protect the nerves. So the nerves are now what? Exposed. Good. So when I say the journey, it means that from the perspective of dietetics and nutrition, that is the only way you can fix that. And as we on this point, let me make a very valid point to individuals. You cannot be ill. You cannot have arthritis. You cannot have diabetes. You cannot have hypertension. You cannot have cardiovascular disease. And let me give you an example of what I'm discussing. So let's say you are a 60-year-old, 65-year-old male, you are diabetic, you're hypertensive, and you may have some heart problems. So 65-year-old male, diabetic, hypertensive, cardiovascular problems. This is what your medical or your prescription going to look like. You will most likely be taking let's say take metformin. So you might take 2 metformin in the morning, 2 metformin in the night. For the hypertension, let's say you're using nifedipine. So you might be taking 1 nifedipine in the morning, 1 nifedipine in the night. You may be given a water tablet or what we call a diuretic. So you're taking Lasix. So you might take 1 Lasix a day. So we up to how much medication? So that's 2 metformin and 2, that's 4. 1 nifedipine, and next nifedipine, that's 6. And then we have Lasix. You most likely would be taking aspirin. So that's 8. If you have cardiovascular problems, you most likely might be taking Coreg. They're going to give you a cholesterol medication for sure. So you're going to be taking either Simla or Simvastatin or something. Good. So that's 10 things you're taking there, right? And your diet may be basic. Basic from my perspective as someone trained in clinical nutrition. And I'll explain what I mean by basic. So you would get up in the morning and you would have most likely a cup of coffee. You may have some sort of bread. You may have maybe roti or a pie or something like that, right? You may have maybe coconut bake, sada or something like that, right? You're going to have something with that. Some people may have eggs. They may have sausage. They may have, if they, somebody might have something a little better. They may have some, a little salad on the side, and they may have like some melangen or something like that, right? Lunchtime, you're going to have rice. You may have some peas, and you may have meat, which most likely would be chicken. And then your dinner, in some cases, would most likely be what you ate the morning. Good. Now tell me, based on what I have just told you there, how healthy would that individual be? How healthy you think? Okay, good. Let me answer for you. 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. In fact, that's -0. You're going down the road. Minus figures. You know why? Nothing, absolutely nothing in your diet, your regime is helping you to get better. Absolutely nothing. What the medication is doing is basically maintaining the illness. People have to understand, and this is not me trying to be controversial or anything like that. What medication does, or what medication is for emergency, People don't know that, When a doctor gives you antibiotics, it is because, or it should be because, let me say that because there's some mad people here that is just give antibiotics for everything. Your cough, take antibiotics. Your this, take antibiotics. But usually, it has to be a serious circumstance for you to get antibiotics. So if you're hypertensive, you're going to be given medication for emergency because they don't want your high blood pressure to go so high that you eventually get a stroke or something. The point I'm making, why are you still dealing with your issue as if it is an emergency when you're supposed to be looking at your lifestyle? That analogy that I just gave you there is a perfect example of the majority of people in the world. The majority of people in the world, that's what they do. So essentially, there is nothing in that protocol at all to correct that situation. So let me give you an example now with other persons who may come to us. So if I'm dealing with a diabetic, one of the first things we have to do is fix your intestines. You know why? Your intestines is not healthy. We also have to fix your cardiovascular and your circulatory system. Why? They're not healthy, not functioning properly. Nothing that you have been given, the metformin, the enalpril, the Lasix, the nifedipine, nothing there has any nutritional basis or grounds for it. Nothing. And if it is a feel, you're listening to this program and I think it could challenge me, go right ahead. Nothing. So what I'm saying to you, the listeners of 103.1 FM, Trinidad and Tobago, is that you have to ensure that your diet is one somewhere where you're getting necessary. Where is your calcium? Where's your magnesium? Where is your zinc? Where's your potassium? Where is your nutrient-dense greens that will now help your gastrointestinal system? Where's your probiotics? You have none of those. So nothing there could help you, which is why you're just going to continue getting sicker and sicker and sicker. We have a question.
Yeah, we have a few questions for you.
Nice.
This person is asking, they've noticed darkness around the ankles.
Right.
Is that a sign of circulation problems, or what would you recommend?
Definitely is a sign of poor circulation problems. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Emma Modis, because what she says is in conjunction with how I'll answer this question. She spoke about circulation tea. Yes, Miss Modis, I do apologize. That is one of the fastest selling teas that we have, but we do have Hawthorne. We also have cholesterol. Those two work really good for circulation. And we'll be getting back circulation tea in about a week and a half time. Okay. So definitely that's poor circulation. Circulation tea would help. Look at your water intake. Remember, of course, the rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces, right? So try and see if you could get that. And if you're able to give us a visit at Batson and Associates, then do that, because I guarantee you would not be disappointed. You need to really address the whole aspect of circulation in its entirety. Pulmonary circulation, which is circulation above your heart, systemic, which is below your heart, and peripheral circulation, which is in the extremities. You must address all those aspects of circulation in order to get improvement in that situation. Okay.
Okay, so here's another question. Would you treat osteoarthritis the same way you treat osteoporosis? Is the treatment the same?
It's slightly different in the sense that with osteoporosis, you are looking at simply a bone mineral density issue and some imbalances in the gastrointestinal musculoskeletal system. When you're dealing with someone who has osteoarthritis, what you are dealing with is high levels of inflammatory response. What is inflammatory response? Inflammation. There is a test, a blood test that is done called an ESR. ESR quickly stands for erythrocyte sedimentation ratio. There's another blood test that they normally do called a C-reactive protein. Those are one of the two blood tests that we use in lab work to determine the level of inflammation in your body. Blood analysis is also another one that we use, and I like that the most simply because of what it has the ability to do with the body. So, feel free to give us a call or visit. Again, those telephone numbers, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. I know our time is very close. So, you're saying something, Karen?
So wait, we just have one more. Well, it's it's a request for some more information, and I suppose this would be tackled in another show. And this is about the thyroids, hypo and hyperthyroidism.
Thyroidism.
This person is saying she is has hypothyroidism.
Right.
She's 50 years old, and what's likely to happen in terms of osteoporosis?
Well, the thing is, if you have low, the problem is that you wouldn't be getting enough calcium coming into the blood. So what you could end up with is a situation like lactic acidosis or severe acidosis problems. So feel free to give us a call or visit next week. Please God, I'm doing a lot of work in Shogunas. I'll be in Shogunas Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, please God. So those of you who may have wanted to see me, whatever the case may be, you can use that opportunity to give us a visit. We have walk-in clinics on those 3 days, so take full advantage of it. Okay, you have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. May God bless you. And the listeners of 103.1 FM, always a pleasure to be in your company. Be safe. Take care of yourself, Karen. Take care until next week, please, God. God bless.
Thank you. Great
You're
to see you
welcome.
again.
Same here.
So this has been a special health feature brought to you by Batson and Associates with Dr. Jason Batson, supporting health naturally. That was a paid program. The views expressed within were not those of 103.
Yes, social media, Facebook family. How are you all doing? I do apologize to you all on Sunday. I wasn't 100 on Sunday. I just wanted to take a rest. So, of course, I was unable to come and do my live as I should have. Okay, so I apologize for that. As I said, Miss Nicole Hurd, good morning to you. Miss Marge Hills, Miss Kathleen Ishmael, blessings, Doctor, blessings, everyone. Miss Elizabeth Mary, good day, Dr. Batson and Associates, and all listening. Miss Kathleen Ishmael, bless Almighty God for you, my doctor. I take that blessing, my dear, more than you know, my dear. Miss Annie Grant, good morning, Dr. Batson and Associates. Blessed Thursday to all. Miss Cecilia Edan says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Miss Emma Modest, blessed, sending shout out to a staff at Shogunas, Sasha, Hills, and the three others. May God continue to bless and keep you all safe. They were so humble. Oh, thank you so very much. So, Miss Sasha Sunarine Adams, Miss LaShawn Hills, and she said the three others, which would most likely be Miss Prabha, Miss Monix, Miss Gian Robinson. They got big up there. They say thank you very much. And you know, we always strive to continue to do our best where our clients are concerned. Miss Petronella Joy Felix, she says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Miss Diane Charles, good morning, Dr. Batson. Miss Sharon, sorry, Theodore. Blessings. Good morning, Dr. Batson. Ms. Felix had highlighted that the scan is amazing. It really gave her an insight into her health. So take advantage of that. You know, get your blood. You do all type of tests. All type of tests. You do CT scan, MRI, and they still can't tell you what's wrong with you. Let Batson Associates do a blood analysis on you all now and give you an insight and show you what's going on with you. There was someone that worked with us that came to us, and the person is actually working in the field of laboratory work. And they were so impressed because once you understand basic biology, you understand the importance of a microscope. Medicine has lost its, what's the word, boy? Its authenticity. I always say that it has lost its authenticity in the sense that it's no longer authentic. It's just like packaged and okay, we package for everybody and one shoe fits all. And that cannot be the case. That cannot be the case. And that's why a lot of people, when they come to us, and I'll tell you again, I try my best not to keep people waiting more than they should wait. But when you come to Batson Associates, you're going to have a little wait. We are thorough in what we do. When we finish with you and we let you know, you have to, what the changes you have to make. Once you do that, you get the results that you're looking for. And the thing is, we have so many clients that even have testimonies that we don't even know about. Like yesterday, I dealt with this lovely lady. She came with her one of her grandchildren. And she said that there's this particular person that we worked with. I remember the child, and they had a situation with the skin. And she said, Dr. Batson, when I see how this child come back so good, she said, you see how the child looking nice, 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 as she put it. They got results. She told her offspring, she said, listen, I need to bring my grand to see Dr. Batson because of the work that she saw that we were able to do. And that's not just one person. We have helped people with lung issue. I am not telling you to not go to a doctor. That's not what we're saying. Batson and Associates can't deal with everybody. Well, at least not yet. But we could deal with a few, and it's a matter of a holistic approach. And let me tell you something too. Don't figure if you come to Batson and Associates, the medication that you're taking, you cannot continue taking your medication. It would be ill-advised and unprofessional of us to try to take you off of your medication just like that. We don't do that. The majority of clients we work with, their doctor is the one who just take them off of the medication. You know why? Because when you come to Batson and Associates and we start to fix you, and I use the word fix, not inadvertently, fix you, because you're like a car. You need to go to the mechanic. You need a tune-up. When we fix you and you go back to your doctor, a lot of the times they confuse some of them. You know why they confuse? Because you're doing something that makes sense. Not that what you was doing wasn't making sense, but it wasn't making total sense. Because as the analogy I gave at the beginning of the program, there are too many persons who are malnourished. Whether you feel offended, you are annoyed, I am telling you, today, what's the date today? The 23rd of March, 2023. It is 11:34 a.m. And I'm saying to you, are you malnourished? That's the question I'm leaving you with. Are you malnourished? People feel they'll be living in Africa, they and your belly big, 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 and you have this issue that you're malnourished. No, it has somebody looking nice, nice, nice. Well, outside nice or nice-ish. So do your mirror test. Look at yourself. As I always tell people, look at yourself. Look at your eyes. Look at your hair. Look at your skin. When you go in the washroom in the morning, look at your stool. You're healthy? Everything good with you? You feeling sick? You could sleep. You're sleeping good when the night come? No, something wrong with you. Unless it's a dog barking at you or you're living next to a pub or something. You're supposed to be sleeping good. Why are you not sleeping? You could comfortably go and get a job with security because you cannot sleep. Why? Is it that you're urinating frequently at night? Is that what's going on with you? You're a man, you're getting up 4 or 5 times to urinate. You know what your body telling you? Your prostate is becoming swollen. More swollen than it should be. And if you continue in that nonsense and you leave it as is, which most of you always do, then there's going to be a point in time you're going to get up and go to the washroom and you will not be able to pee. And God, hear me. I have never experienced that. I do not want to experience that. But you can imagine you trying to pee and you cannot pee. Think about it. You can imagine how painful that is going to be. That has happened to people. And then they rush you to the hospital, and there's a wonderful device called a catheter that it is taken insert inside of you. So imagine, we all big people here, male private part organ, your penis, they are going to take this tube and push it inside of there. That's why they have to take that and push that inside of there for you to urinate through that. You know how painful that thing is? So as the old people say, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Mind your business. Give Batson Associates a call. Those telephone numbers again. Our Shogunas office is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsamut Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. Hey, I'm seeing Weave TT joined. Hey, Papa. Pleasant good morning to Weave TT. I'm seeing them here on our Instagram. Yeah, pleasant good morning, guys. Yeah, so all you need to do better than that. All this swell foot you're walking around, you have diabetes for how much years, your eye hurting you, you have a headache, and you just sick and suffering. You like to be sick of it. Nobody likes to be sick. I personally don't like to be sick. I'm no use to myself or anybody when you're sick. You just lying down on a bed there and you're confused and stressed out because you can't function and be the real individual that you can't reach to your true and full potential when you're sick. What you could do when you're sick? You can't even write. You can't concentrate properly. Watch me. I remember the last time I got the cold. I was getting the cold recently. Let me say this quickly because I have to leave. Keep in mind on our upcoming programs. Yeah. And I was feeling this thing in my tonsils because this was after carnival. And it was quite annoying. It felt as like an infection, but the pain was astronomical. On a scale of 1 to 10, the pain was about 15. It was really bothering me to the point I was even contemplating to go into my to my doctor. And yes, Dr. Batson has a doctor for certain things, right? And there's this particular product that we carry called the Fountain of Life. The product has lignins in it. And I decided, I said, here, I'm going to drink some silver and I'm going to take this product. And I did. And it take a little while to work in the sense that it must take about 10 hours. So I wasn't sick, but the pain took maybe like about 6 to 10 hours in all when it started to go away completely, which was excellent because had I not intervened and do what I did there, I'm sure I would have been sick. I'm positively sure. I know when I'm getting sick. The point I'm making, for those 10 hours, I was highly annoyed. I was frustrated. I was not one of the best persons to be around. Why? Because I was not feeling good. I was not feeling myself. Okay? So feel free to give us a call. Keep in mind our marathon week that we're doing in Shogunas. So those of you who may require a consultation with Dr. Batson, those of you who may have had blood analysis scans that you want to do, we're going to do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. I'm actually going to let Shakil put up some sort of advertisement for me, and we're going to do that. And we're also going to give the radio station Sky, we're going to give them that. So next week, please God, we are working. Dr. Batson is going to be exceptionally diligent in how he manages his schedule, and I'm going to ensure, and I want everybody to hold me to this, that I reach in my office all of those days at 9 a.m. So to the staff in Shogunas who may be having a heart attack right now, that is when you're booking our appointments, and we are working. We have people to help. We have things to do. So, with that being said, this brings our program to an end. To all our wonderful listeners, Miss Emma Modest, she said, I brought my eye drops, which I have been using for a while now. I used to get a sharp pain in the eye, and it has not happened since. Sometimes my family here orders it and then look for someone traveling to bring it up. Your new label is more readable. Yeah. Yeah, your new label is more readable. Thanks. For a while now, it has helped me. Okay, Miss Modest. I'm very glad to hear that. Right? So you all heard that eye drop. If you have a problem with your eye, you have burning thing, you have cataract, you have glaucoma, you have detached retina, all these type of things. The eye drop is going to help you. Keep in mind we have our next program, God's willing, which is going to be from 1:15 to 1:45. Do we have 1:45? And of course, we will be joining DJ Mamu Radio TT.com, which by the way, we will have from 2:05 to about 3:05 or 2 to 3 o'clock, somewhere around there. Okay, guys. So remember that marathon week at Batson Associates for Dr. Batson and staff, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. Those of you who you're waiting long, I can't get an appointment with Dr. Batson at this or that, we're gonna do it for Debe the next week. So that's something that we're gonna do there. So look out for that. We have some work to do. We have some people to help, and you guys have some results to get. All this headache you're having, and you're feeling sick, and you can't go in the toilet, and stop that nonsense. It has too much thing out here to help people. All this suffering unnecessarily. I tell all you that you're all suffering unnecessarily. It annoys me when I see people so sick. Really, really annoys me. I want to know about what it is all you're doing. Is it a lack of knowledge? Is it ignorance? Or is it that all you just hardened and licorice and want to eat everything? What is it? Okay? So again, those telephone numbers for the Shogunas office, call, make your appointment. Remember, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, we have Marathon Day. Okay? Or days rather. Shogunas office number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number is 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough. Tobago, that number is 226-4553. May God continue to bless you guys. Take care. And I see you, God's willing, at 1:15.